All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. Today, we are going to be examining the different laws and bills that President Johnson vetoed, and then we're going to be looking at his impeachment. Okay. So here's the thing: the objective. We're going to analyze again the bills that Johnson vetoed. We're going to examine whether Congress overstepped their authority or overstepped their power. Um, because remember, the impeachment. This is the first time a president has ever been impeached. Last one, we're going to create an argument on whether President Johnson deserved his impeachment. Now, when I ask this, I'm talking about like, did he actually deserve it based off the Constitution, based off what the law says? Now, yes, there are some things you look at him and you're like, oh, well, this guy's he's like this or he's like that. I don't like that. So yeah, he deserves to be impeached. But did he break any laws? That's impeachable stuff. So we're going to be looking at that, whether people again, a lot of people didn't like him, but is that enough of reason to impeach a person, a president? Okay, so we're gonna be looking at that. All right, so now we're gonna go to the LPAC question. Again, this is your warm up. Now, like I told you last week, I'm gonna help you, but it's gonna be a little bit less than last week. Okay, so the question asks you, think about an important event, so the event in your life. What made this event so important? What happened during this event and how did it change you? Okay. So first thing you're going to do is think of an event. Okay. I cannot help you with that. This is a question only you can truly answer because it's about you. Okay. Now how I can help you is how you're going to structure it. Okay. So remember, try to aim for 3 paragraphs. The first one answering this question. What made this event so important? So you're going to name it, and then what made this so important? What made it um, so crucial to you and to your life? The second one was paragraph is basically what happened during this event. So give the details, give what happened step by step, okay? And the last paragraph should be about how it changed you. So give specifics. How did it change you? Did it make you from an introvert to an extrovert? A person who's kind of shy, this and that, to a person extrovert is a person who's kind of out there and things like that. Was it in reverse? Were you a outgoing person? Now you're kind of shy. Is it like did it make you grow up? This event that happened, did it make you appreciate things in life? So really go in there and think about it and then start on it. Remember, put on a timer for like 5 minutes and start writing. Okay. Try to do better than you did last week. Okay. Some of you guys did some really good jobs. Some of you guys did a pretty good job. Some students only wrote like 3 sentences, but the thing is, okay, that was the bar. Now try to do better. Okay, so if you did like 30 sentences, try to do a full paragraph. Start on the second paragraph. If you did all 3 paragraphs, this time around, see if you can make less grammar errors. See if you can make your sentence or your paragraph structures even better. Okay, so again, try your best. And like I said, you are the ones who you can are the only ones who could really say, I did my best on this. Okay. But again, don't lie to yourself. Really try. Really put your effort into this for 5 minutes and try to write about this event. Okay. So go ahead, pause the video, but we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. So February 19th, 1866, the Freedmen Bureau bill basically wants to increase its power. What they want to do is have military trials to basically for anyone who deprives African Americans from their civil rights. If they want to, own some property, and all of a sudden they're like denied for just because, um, yeah, that's you're going after these guys mainly because of their color, their skin, more likely. You know, um, being denied an education, things like that. That's like you're attacking their civil rights. Everyone in this country has a right to go to school, own property, things like that. Um, so with that coming up, Johnson vetoes a bill. But like I told you, the president is not all powerful. So Congress basically overrides his veto and it becomes law. The next thing that pops up is the first Reconstruction Act. Now, what this does, it is just like this picture shows. It breaks down the South into 5 districts. Okay, and usually there's a general, a Union general, excuse me, in places each one of these places, these districts, and their job is to kind of maintain the peace and protect the rights of the persons and property. Okay. Now, if you notice in the quotation, it says the rights to protect the rights of persons and property. It doesn't say specifically African Americans or white people. It's for everybody. Okay. The wording is truly significant in that it's not just aiming for one particular race, it's for everybody. But everyone knows who truly needs this help. You know. So again, there's another theme. Johnson is going to veto it, and Congress is going to override him. All right. Now, does Congress override every single veto Johnson does? No. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. And you guys are actually going to do something on your own. Um, so this question is not one that where you answer just off the top of your head or how you feel. This and that. I want you to actually look online and do a little research. Okay. So find 3 bills that Johnson, this is Andrew Johnson, vetoed. Okay. So go to Google, put on, type in like President Johnson vetoed bills, bills that President Johnson, Andrew Johnson vetoed. Um, and make sure make sure it does say Andrew Johnson, you know, says something like 1867, 1868, okay? And not something from like 1960 because that's the other Johnson. Okay? So be sure that you're actually putting down the right person. And you look up the right person's stuff, okay? So go ahead and do that. Um, we're going to be moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so I'm sure you got to the point you're getting the idea that every time there's a bill to help out African Americans, Johnson vetoes it. So Congress does not trust him anymore. So what they do is they start putting up acts to kind of make sure that he doesn't fly off the handle in a sense. So the first one was the Army Appropriations Act, which basically has Johnson transmit his order to the military, but basically it has to go through the commanding generals in Washington. Even though he's the commander in chief and he's the top person in the military, um, they were like your commanding generals have to give the okay. Okay, so they implemented that. The next one is the Tenure of Office Act. And this basically said that Johnson can't fire anyone from his cabinet without Senate approval. Okay. Now, there has been times presidents have fired people, for whatever reason. Um, but you have to remember a lot of these people who are in his cabinet were people who worked for Lincoln. Remember, he took over for Lincoln. So a lot of these guys who were Secretary of War, Secretary of State, Secretary of Interior, they were all Lincoln's picks. So basically, to make sure that Lincoln's guys stay in office, that they continue the vision that Lincoln had, um, Congress passed this act. Okay. The Second Reconstruction Act basically ensured that black men are able to vote. The Third Reconstruction Act basically voting rules in the South and allows military to use force to remove state and local officials who try to stop the Reconstruction process. So basically, it's like, okay, now we're gonna do like voting stuff, voting rules in the South. It's like if it gets to the point where African Americans can vote, you can't deny them. Or there should be a polling place near where they live, things like that. And if any state or local senator, governor, mayor, whomever tries to stop any of these laws that are meant to help African Americans, if they try to stop it, they will go to trial, and the military will step in to make sure that, hey, you can't take advantage of these African Americans. Okay. Now, both of these, the second and third Reconstruction Act, were both vetoed by Johnson, and they were both overridden by Congress. All right, so on that list of three I told you, um, some of these might be on there. And if so, awesome. If you picked some, or if you found some that weren't these, you did an even greater job. Okay, so now this part is going to go a little bit fast because it's a series of events that happened for the impeachment. Okay, January 5th, 1867, President Johnson asked Secretary of War Edwin Stanton to resign. Now, Stanton didn't. He's like, no, I'm not going to resign. Remember, Stanton is the one when Lincoln was announced that he died. He's the one who said he now belongs to the ages. Okay. So about a week later, um, President Johnson suspends him, Stanton, suspends him, and he puts Ulysses S. Grant. Remember, Grant's the hero of the Civil War. He puts him as Secretary of War. He's like, well, if anyone knows anything about war, it's you, right? So several months go by, and Johnson finally tells Congress, "Oh yeah, just one more thing before the year ends. I suspended Stanton. Yeah, I know some of you guys heard rumors and things like that. Um, yeah, I did it." And then about a month later, Grant tells Johnson, "You know what, dude? I'm quitting. This is not the job for me. Um, so I'm gonna give it back to Stanton. Because Stanton's apparently, he is the man for this job. So, and it really is his job. So yeah, I'm gonna give it back to him." Johnson's not happy about that. So February 1st, Johnson fires Stanton. He's like, you know what, dude, I'm sick of your stuff. I wanted you suspended. Apparently that didn't work. So I'm gonna fire you. And then 3 days later, right when that news hit, um, the House of Representatives get together really quick, and they're going through the Constitution, and they're looking to see, can we kick him out? Now, remember, they put in the Office of Tenure Act. Okay, um, he did not follow that. Remember, he has to get Senate approval. He did not. He just straight fired Stanton. So to them, that was enough for the grounds to impeach the president. You know, Granted, they didn't like him, but he did fire Stanton, and according to the rules of law, the act, he has to get Senate's approval. Um, so in the Senate, Johnson impeachment falls through. Okay, through the House of Representatives, they say yes, he is guilty of of breaking the law. We are impeaching him, and remember, just because you get the label of impeachment doesn't mean you get kicked out automatically. It has to go through the Senate, and the Senate votes. Now, if the Senate votes and they say yes, you're out of there. But it falls one vote short. Johnson is not impeached. Okay. And then when the next election comes up and he's like, all right, guys, I'm ready to be your president again, his own political party, the Republicans, are like, no, are you serious? Get out of here. You fought us tooth and nail for everything. Everything that we felt that African Americans should have, you fought us tooth and nail on. We wanted this, and you're like, no, no, veto, 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 veto. So why would we want you? Okay. So here's my question to you. Do you believe that President Johnson deserved to be impeached? You yeah, it was the act, that he did, um, you know, break. But do you think the Senate would have agreed with him to fire Stanton? You know, so how, a president, does need people that they feel they can work with. Maybe he felt that Stanton wouldn't work with him. He can't fire him if the Senate won't let him, right? So what do you think? Uh, Justify your answer with a logical reason, okay? Meaning, don't just say, yeah, because he's racist. Okay, that's besides the fact. Like I said, by the law, it doesn't say if you're a racist, you can get kicked out of being whatever, a senator, things like that, or whatever. It does not say that, sadly, but it doesn't say that. All right, so try to use what you've learned and use that to answer this question, okay? So we're going to move on in three, two, one. So here is your exit ticket. Remember, just pick one of these. The first one asks you, what are some possible reasons why President Johnson vetoed all those bills? Do you think he really was racist, or do you think he kind of thought, this is not going to work? Maybe it needs to be worded better. You know, what do you think? The second one is, do you believe Congress abused their power with President Johnson? You know, putting all those different acts, the Tenured Act and things like that, so that he can't fire Lincoln's people, you know, that they do all this stuff where basically they don't need him. They know that they can pass the stuff because they have the numbers to override his veto, you know, so they can just pass whatever they want. Do you think they abuse their powers? Yes or no? And last one is, did President Johnson deserve his impeachment? Again, I know that's kind of, I think it's the same one as the other one. I think I might have copied it accidentally and just accidentally pasted it on here. So let's just go with the first two. Okay, the first two questions. I'll delete this later on. But yeah, so the first two questions. Don't look at the third one. Like I said, I think I just copied and pasted from the other one. Okay, so again, don't answer that third one because you already did from the other question. But once you're finished, um, you're done for the class. Okay. Um, Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Okay. So that's it. You guys take care. You be safe, and I'll see you guys later.